So thank you all for coming out. It is so great to see all of you here. We're so excited to put on the show. Before we start, though, a couple notes. First of all, in the event of a fire, there's the exit. There's also an exit over there, but I don't know why you would exit that way because there's only one way out of Starner Underground. So just, in the event of fire, don't do that. Number two, please make sure that your cell phones are off during this. No like flash photography or whatever. Would hate to distract our lovely actors and will break. We're very good actors, but if somebody starts taking flash photography, we will break. And three, I do want to note a trigger warning. This show does have discussion and like dramatic actualization of hateful violence and suicide. If this is something that would prove harmful to you to watch, it's okay if you leave now. It's okay if you leave in the middle of the show. We won't be offended. We want you to take care of yourselves. That's pretty much all I have to say. Thank you so much for coming. Please enjoy the show.
Two households, both alike in dignity, fair Verona where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge break to new unity, where civil blood makes civil hands on.
From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured, piteous overthrows do with their death bury their parents' strife.
The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, but which their children's end not could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage.
The which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
I strike quickly, being moved.
Thou art not quickly moved to strike.
The dog of the house Montague.
The quarrel is between our masters and us, their men. Draw. We come to the house of Montagues.
My naked weapon is out. Quarrel, I will back me. Let us take the law of our sides. Then begin.
I will frown as I pass them by and let them take it as they will.
Yea, as they dare, I will bite my thumb at them. It is a disgrace to them if they bear it.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is the law of our side if I say I?
No.
No, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, sir. But I bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir? No,
If
sir!
you do, sir, I am for you. I serve as good a man as you.
No better!
Well, sir!
I say better. Here comes one of my master's kinsmen.
Yes, better, sir.
You lie!
Draw if you be men.
Get him, Samson! Oh my God! Get him!
Lord, you know not how you do!
What? Art thou drawn among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio. Look upon thy death.
I do but keep the peace.
Oh, what talk of peace? I hate the word as I hate hell, all Montagues, and thee.
God, that's how you bite a thumb, Samson.
Have at thee, coward!
Oh, get him,
Tybalt!
Oh! Oh, yeah! Come on, don't take that line down, Sybil. Come on. Oh! Come on, you're still in this. You're still in the fight. Oh! Oh! My God! No! Get him!
Things are going good. They not here. What? Oh! You men, you beasts! On pain of torture from those bloody hands, throw your mistempered weapons to the ground and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word by thee, old Capulet and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time, all the rest depart away. You, Capulets, shall go along with me. And Montague, come you this afternoon to know our further pleasure in this case. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart.
Oh, where's Romeo? Saw you here today? Right glad I mind she was not at this fray.
Sir, an hour before the worshipped sun peered forth the golden window of the east. A troubled mind drave me walk abroad, where, underneath the grove of sycamore which westward rooteth from the city side, so early waking did I see your child, but she was ware of me and stole into the cover of the wood.
Many a morning hath she there been seen, augmenting the fresh morning dew with her tears, and into clouds and more clouds with her deep sighs. Private in her chamber pens herself, shuts up her windows, locks far daylight out, and makes herself an artificial night. Black and portentous must this humor prove, unless good counsel may the cause remove.
My noble uncles, do you know the cause?
I neither know it nor can learn of her.
Have you importuned her by any means?
Both by myself and by many other friends. But she, her own affection's counselor, is to herself so secret and so close, so far from sounding and discovery. Could we but know from whence these sorrows grow, we would as willingly give cure as no.
Look, here she comes. Does it please you so? Step aside. I'll know her grievance or be much denied.
I would thou wert so happy by thy stays to hear true shrift come.
Good morrow, cousin.
Is the day so young?
When you strike 9.
Ay, me, sad hours seem long. Was that my father's that went ahead so fast?
Was? What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which having makes them short.
Love?
Out of love, out of her favor where I am in love.
Alas, that love so gentle in his view should be so tyrannous and rough and cruel.
Alas, that love whose view is muffled still should without eyes see pathways to his will. Where shall we go? Oh, me, what fray was here? Yet tell me not, for I have heard it all. Here's much to do with hate, but more with love. Why then, oh brawling love? Oh loving hate, oh heavy lightness? Serious vanity, misshapen chaos of well-seeming forms, feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health, still waking sleep that is not what it is. This love feel I that feel no love in this. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cause I rather weep.
Good heart at what?
At thy good heart's oppression.
Why such is love's transgression? Griefs of mine own lie heavy in my breast, which thou wilt propagate, to have it pressed with more of thine. This love that thou hast shown doth add more grief to too much of mine own. Farewell.
Soft, I will go along, and if you leave me so, you do me wrong.
Tut! I have lost myself. I am not here. This is not Romeo. She is some other where.
Tell me in sadness, who is that you love?
What shall I groan and tell thee?
Wrong, I know, but sadly, tell me who.
Bid a sick woman in sadness make her will. Word ill-urged to one that is so ill. In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman.
I aimed so near when I supposed you loved.
A right good markman. And she's fair, I love.
A right fair mark, fair, cause as soon as hit.
Well, if that hit you miss, she'll not be hit with Cupid's arrow. She hath Dian's wit, and in strong proof of chastity, well armed from love's weak, childish bow, she lives unharmed.
Then she hath sworn that she shall still live chaste.
She hath forsworn to love, and in that vow do I live dead that live to tell it now.
Be ruled by me, forget to think of her.
Oh, teach me how I should forget to think.
By taking liberty into thine eyes, examine other beauties.
Show me a mistress that is passing fair. What doth her beauty serve but as a note where I may read who passed that passing fair? Farewell, thou canst not teach me to forget.
I'll pay that doctrine or else die in debt.
Well, my lord, what say you to my suit?
By saying or what I have said before, my child is yet a stranger to the world. She hath not seen the change of 18 years. Like 2 more summers, whither in their pride here we may think her right to be a bride.
Younger than she, or happy mothers may.
Too soon marred are those so early made. Earth hath swallowed all my hopes, but she is the hopeful lady of mine earth. But woo her, gentle Paris, get her heart, and my will to her consent is but a part. And she agree within her scope of choice lies my consent and fair according voice. Tonight, I hold an old accustomed feast whereto I have invited many a guest, such as I love, and you, among the store, one more among many makes my number more. Hear all, and I'll see. The liker most whose merit most shall be. No view of many mine being one may stand in number, though in reckoning, no. Sir, go. Go, Sirrah. about through fair Verona, find out those persons whose names are written here, and to them say my house and welcome on their pleasures say.
Oh, sirrah, find them out whose names are written here. I am sent to find those persons whose names are here written. Never hope to find the names the writing person here hath writ. I must have learned in good time.
One fire burns out, another's burning. Turn giddy, and behold thy backward turning. One grief cures with another's languish. Take thou some new infection in thine eye, and the very poison of the old will die.
Your plantain leaf is excellent for that.
For what, I pray you?
For your broken ship.
Romeo, art thou mad?
Not mad, but bound more than a mad woman is. Shut up in prison, kept without my food, whipped and tormented and... Good evening, good fella.
Gotta get in, I pray. Lady, can you read?
I, mine own fortune and my misery.
Perhaps you have learned without a book, but I pray, lady, can you read anything you see?
I, if I know the letters and the language.
Say honestly. Rest you, Mary.
Stay, fellow, I can read. Signor Martino and his wife and daughters, County Anselm and his beauteous sisters, the lady widow of Vitravio. Good job. Signor Placentio and his lovely nieces, Mercutio and his brother Valentine, mine uncle Capulet, his wife and daughters, my fair niece Rosaline, Livia, Signor Valentio and his cousin Tybalt, Lucio and the lively Helena, a fair assembly. Whither should they come?
To supper, to our house.
To whose house?
My master's.
Indeed, I should have asked you that before.
Now, I shall tell you without asking. My master is the great and rich Capulet, but if you two not be of the house of Montagues, I pray, come and crush a cup of wine. Rest you merry.
This ancient feast of Capulet sups the fair Rosaline, whom thou so lovest, with all the admired beauties of Verona. Go thither, and with unattainted eye, compare her face with some that I shall show, that will make thee think thy swan a crow.
One fairer than my love? The all-seeing sun ne'er saw her match since first the world begun.
Tut, you saw her fair, none else being by, herself poised with herself in either eye, but in those crystal scales that there be weighed your lady's love against some other maid that I will show you shining at the feast, and she shall can't show well that now shows best.
I will go along. No such sight to be shown, but to rejoice in splendor of mine own.
Nurse, where's my daughter? Call her forth to me.
I made her come. What lamb? What ladybird? God forbid, where's this girl? What, Juliet?
Out now! Who calls?
The mother?
Madam, I am here. What is your will?
This is the matter. Nurse, give leave a while. We must talk in secret.
Nurse, come back again. I have remembered me. Thou hears our counsel. Thou knowest my daughter is of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age unto an hour.
She's not yet 18.
All at 18 in my teeth, she is not 18. How long is it now to Lammas Tide?
A fortnight and odd days.
Even a rod of all days of the year, come Lammas Eve at night shall she be 18. Susan and she, they're still Christian souls, were of an age. Well, Susan, God, now she was too good for me. But as I said, come Lammas Eve at night shall she be 18. That shall she marry. I remember it well, since the earthquake now 16 years? And she was weaned of all the days of the year upon that day. For even then she could stand alone. Nay, by the rood, she could have run and waddled all about, for the day before she broke her brow. And my husband, God knew this surely was a merry man. He took up the child. Yea, while he dost thou fall upon thy face, thou wilt fall back when thou hast more wit, wilt thou not, Jewel? And by my holiday, the pretty wretch left crying and said, and see now how a jest shall come about. I warned that I should live 1,000 years. I never should forget it. False upon thy face, while backward now has more wit. The pretty fool left crying and said, I.
Enough of this. I pray thee, hold my peace.
Yes, madam. Now I cannot choose but laugh. To think it should leave crying and say, I. And yet I warned it had a kind of scar with hope as big as a young cockerel stone, a parlous knock, and it cried bitterly. It sniffed and it said, I.
And stitch thou too, I pray thee, nurse, say I.
Peace I've done. Marked with whose grace, it was the prettiest babe that e'er I nursed. My live to see thee married once I have my wish.
Mary, that Mary is the very theme I came to talk of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It is an honor that I dream not of.
Well, think on marriage now. Younger than you, here in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers. By my count, I was your mother much upon the years that you are now a maid. Thus then, Imperial, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
Lady, a man is such all the world like. He's a man of wax.
Verona's summer hath not such a flower.
He's a flower, and faith, a very flower.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman? This night you shall behold him at our feast. Read o'er the volume of young Paris's face, and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. Examine every married lineament, and see how one another lends content. This precious book of love, this unbound lover, to beautify him only lacks a cover. So shall you share in all that he doth possess, by having him, making yourself no less.
No less, nay, bigger women grow by men.
Speak briefly, can you like of Paris's love?
I'll look to like, if looking liking room. But no more deep will I endure mine eye than your consent gives strength to make it fly.
Madam, the guests are come. The guests are come. Supper is served up. You called. My young lady asked for the nurse. The nurse cursed in the pantry and everything in extremity. I must wait. I beseech you, please. Please follow straight.
We follow thee. Juliet, the Count stays.
Go, girls, happy nights to happy days.
What, shall this speak be spoken our excuse, or shall we out without apology?
The days out of such publicity. Let them measure us by what they will. We'll measure them a measure and be gone.
Come, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance.
Not I, believe me. You have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground I cannot move.
You are a lover. Borrow Cupid's wings and with them soar above a common bound.
I am too sore in pierced with his shaft to soar with his light feathers. And so bound I cannot bound to pitch above dull woe. Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
And should you sink to it, should you burden love, too great oppression for such a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like thorn.
If love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking, and you beat love down. Give me a case to put my visage in.
Knock and enter, and no sooner in, but every one take them to their legs.
Let wantons light of heart tickle the senseless rushes with their heels. I'll look on. The game was ne'er so fair, and I am done.
Tut! If thou art done, we'll draw thee from the mire wherein thou sticks up to the ears. Come, we burn daylight, ho.
Nay, that's not so.
I mean, lady, in delay, we waste our lights in vain, like lamps by day. Take our good meaning, for our judgment sits 2 times that once in our 2 wits.
And we mean well in going to this mask, but 'tis no wit to go.
Why, may one ask?
I dreamt a dream tonight.
And so did I.
Well, what was yours?
That dreamers often lie.
In bed? Asleep, where they do dream things true.
Oh, then I see the Queen Mab hath been with you. She is the fairest midwife. And she comes in shape no bigger than the agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman. She is drawn by a team of little atomies over men's noses as they lie asleep. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut made by a joiner squirrel or an old grub, time out of mind the fairies' coachmakers. And in this shape she gallops night by night through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love. Sometimes she gallop o'er a lady's lips that straight on kisses dream. stream, which oft the angry mab doth with blisters place, because their breaths with sweet meats tainted are. Sometimes she driveth o'er a courtier nose, and then dreams he of smelling out his suit. Sometimes she driveth o'er a soldier's neck, and then dreams he of cutting foreign throats, of breeches and bristles, of Spanish blades, of hell's 5 fathoms deep, and then anon drums in his ear, at which he starts and waits, and being thus frightened, swears a prayer or two, and sleeps again. This is that nab that plats the remains of horses in this night, and bakes the elf-locks into foul, sluttish hairs, which, once untangled, much misfortune bode. This is that hag, when maids lie on their back, and presses them and learns the first to bear, making them women of good carriage. This is she!
Peace! Peace, good Mercutio, peace! Thou talk'st of nothing.
True. I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain, and begot of nothing but vain fantasy, which is as thin of substance as the air, and as inconstant as the wind who woos even now the frozen bosom of the north, and being thus angered, puffs away from thence, turning to the dew-dropping south.
This wind you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done, and we will come too late.
I fear too early. For my mind misgives some consequence, yet hanging in the stars, shall bitterly begin its fearful date with this night's revels, and expire the term of a despised life closed in my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the steerage of my course, direct my sails on lusty friends.
Straight drum!
Welcome, welcome, gentlemen. Ladies that have their toes on play by corn shop out with you. Aha, my mistresses. What you all now all deny to dance? She that makes dainty she elsewhere hath corns. Come near you now. Welcome, friends. I have seen the day that I can tell and wear a visor and tell a whispering tale in a fair lady's ear such as would please. Well, 'tis gone, 'tis gone, 'tis gone. You are welcome, friends. Come, musicians, play. A hall, a hall. Give room, give room. And foot it, girls.
Torches to burn bright. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove, trooping with crows as yonder lady o'er her fellow shows. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and touching hers make blessed my rude hand. Did my heart love till now? Forswear at sight, for I ne'er saw true beauty till this night.
This by her voice should be a mountain. Oi! Fetch me a weapon, boy. What dares this slave come hither, covered with an antique face, to flare and scorn at our solemnity? Now by the stock and honor of my kin to strike her dead, I hold it not simply.
How now, kinsman? Wherefore storm you so?
Uncle, this is a mountain. Our foe, a villain that is hither come in spite to scorn at our solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
'Tis she, that villain Romeo.
Pretend thee, gentle cousin, let her alone. She bears herself like a lady, and to say truth, Verona brags of her to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. I would not for the wealth of all the town here in my house do her disparagement. Therefore, be patient and take note of it. It is my will, to which if thou respect, to put off these shroud frowns and show a fair presence, more fitting one for such a feast.
It fits when such a villain is a guest I'll not endure.
She shall be endured. What goodman boy, I say she shall. Go to. Am I the master here or you? Go to. not endure her. God shall mend my soul. You'll make a mutiny among my guests. You'll set cock a hoop. You'll be the man.
Uncle, 'tis a shame!
Go to. You are a saucy boy. So indeed, this trick may chance to scathe you. I know what you must contrary me. Married, 'tis time. Well said, my hearts. You are princess. Go and be quiet, or more light for shame. I'll make you quiet. What? Cheerly, my hearts.
Patience perforce with willful call and meeting makes my flesh tremble at their different breeding. I will withdraw. For this intrusion shall now seeming sweet convert to bitter gall.
If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle sin is this: my lips, two blushing pilgrims, ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss.
Have not saints lips and holy palmers too?
Aye, pilgrim, lips they must use in prayer.
Well then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou, lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant from prayer's sake.
Then move not while my prayers effect I take. Thus, from my lips by yours, my sin is purged.
Then have my lips the sin that they have took.
Sin from my lips, O trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
You kissed by the book.
Madam, your mother bears a word for you.
What is her mother?
Mary, her mother is the lady of the house. A good lady, wise, virtuous. I nursed her daughter that you're talking about. I tell you, hitting only hold of her shall have the chinks.
Is she a Capulet? Oh, dear account. My life is my foe's dead. Oh, already God, the sport is at its best. Aye, so I fear. The more is my unrest.
Nay, gentle friends, prepare not to begin. We have a trifling foolish banquet towards. Stephen, so? Well, then, I thank you all, honest friends, and good night. Come on, then, let's to bed. Asserai by my fay, it waxes late. I'll to my rest.
Come hither, nurse. What is yon's lady?
I know not.
Go ask her name. If she be married, my grave is like to be my wedding bed.
Her name is Romeo and Montague, the only child of your great enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate. Too early seen, unknown, and known too late. Pretty this birth of love it is to me that I must love a loathed enemy.
What's this? What's this?
A rhyme I learned even now from what I danced with all.
Juliet!
Come, come. It's the way the strangers are all gone.
Can I go forward when my heart is here? Turn back, dull earth, and find thy center out.
Romeo! My cousin Romeo!
Oh, she is wise, and on my life hath stolen her home to bed.
Oh, she ran this way and leap this orchard wall. Call, good Mercutio.
Nay, I'll conjure too. Romeo! Humors, mad woman, passion, love earth, appearest thou to us in the likeness of a sigh? I conjure thee by Rosaline's bright eyes, by her high forehead and her scarlet lip, by her fine foot and her straight leg and the quivering thigh, and the dumbest thing is that there Jesus lie. Appearest thou to us in thy likeness?
Hear thee, thou wilt anger her. Come, she hath hid herself amongst the trees to consort with a humorous night. Blind is her love, and best befits the dark.
If love be blind, love cannot hit the mark. Romeo, good night. I'll to my truckle bed. This field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Come, shall we go?
Go then, for 'tis in vain to seek her here who needs not be found.
He jests at scars that never felt a wound. Soft. What light through yonder window brings? Is the east in Juliet? Juliet is the sun, arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. It is my lady. Oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses. I will answer it. I am too old. 'Tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the heaven, having some business, do entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres till they return. What if her eyes were there, they in her head? For the brightness of her cheek would shame those stars as daylight doth a lamp. Her eyes in heaven would through the airy region stream so bright that birds would sing. Think it were not night. You see how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
I need.
She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo. Wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love and I'll no longer be a Capulet. 'Tis but thy name that is mine enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose, by any other name would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were she not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which she owes without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for that name which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth, I never will be Romeo.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of that tongue's utterance, and yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo, and a Montague?
Neither, fair saint, if either thee dislike.
How camest thou hither, tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art, and any of my kinsmen might be here.
With love's light wings did I o'erperch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out, nor what love can do that dares love attempt. Therefore thy kinsmen are no left to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their sight, and but thou love me? Let them find me here. My life were better ended by their hate than death for Rogan, wanting of thy love.
By whose direction camest thou at this place?
Thy love, who did first prompt me to inquire. He lent me counsel, and I lent him eyes.
Thou know'st the mask of night is on my face, else would have made me blush, me paint my cheek, that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. But farewell, compliment. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. Romeo, thou dost love, pronounce it faithful. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, and therefore thou mayst think my behavior likes. But trust me, Romeo, I'll prove more true than those that have more cunning to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess. But that though over Kurt's ear I was there my true love's passion, therefore pardon me, and not impute my yielding to thy love, which the dark night would so discover it.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon, I swear that tips with silver all these fruit
Oh,
trees.
swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon that monthly changed in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable. Well, do not swear. Although I joy in thee, I have no joy of this contract here tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too stubborn, too like the lightning, which does cease to be ere one can say it lightens. Sweet, good night. This bud of love, by summer's ripening breath, may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night. Good night. Sweet repose and rest come to thy heart as that within my breast.
Juliet!
I hear some noise within, sweet love, at you. I come, anon. Your monster be true. Stay but a little, I will come again.
Oh, blessed, blessed night! I am afeard, being in night, all this is but a dream. Too flattering sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy beds of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow by one that I'll procure to come to me where and what time thou wilt perform the rite. And all thy fortunes at thy foot I'll lay. all of you my love throughout the world.
Madam!
I come anon, but if thou meanest not well, and to beseech thee,
Madam!
by and by I come to cease thy suit and lead me to my grief. Tomorrow I will send.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worse to want thy life. Love goes toward love, as schoolboys from their books. But love from love, toward school with heavy loves.
Hist, Romeo, hist.
My dear,
At what o'clock tomorrow should I send for thee?
at the hour of 9,
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till then. I forgot why I did call thee back,
let me stand here till I remember it.
and I'll still forget to have thou still stay, remembering how I love thy company.
And I'll still stay to have thee still forgetting any other home but this.
'Tis almost morning, I would have thee gone. Good night, good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night to with thee morrow.
Sleep dwell upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Would I were sleep and peace, so sweet to rest. Hence will I to my ghostly father's cell, his help to crave and my dear hap to tell.
Now, ere the sun advanced his burning eye, the day to cheer and night's dank dew to dry, I must have filled this osier cage of ours with beautiful weeds and precious juicy flowers. Oh, nickel is the powerful grace that lies in herbs, plants, stones, and their true qualities, for not so while that on the earth doth live, but to the earth some special good doth give. Nor aught so vile, but strain from that fair use, revolts from true birth, stumbling on abuse. Virtue itself turns vice, being misapplied, and vice sometimes by action dignified. Where the worsers promenade facilitate or decades of that land.
Good morrow, father.
An early time so sweet salute thee, Romeo! Young child, it argues a distempered head so soon to take thee morrow to thy bed. Before thy earliness with me assure thou art to browse by some distempered shore, or if not so, then here I did it right. Poor Romeo hath not been in bed tonight.
That last is true. The sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon sin! Is that with Rosaline?
With Rosaline, my ghostly father, no. I have forgot that name, and that name's woe.
Where's my good non? Where hast thou been then?
I'll tell thee ere thou ask it me again. I have been feasting with mine enemy, where on a sudden one hath wounded me, that's by me wounded. Both our remedies within thy help and holy physic lies. I bear no hatred, blessed man, for lo, my intercession likewise steads my foe.
Plain, good child, and holy in thy drift. Early confession finds but riddling shrift.
Then plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so hers is set on mine, and all combined say what thou must combine by holy marriage. When and where and how we met, we wooed and made exchange of vow. I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today.
Holy St. Francis! She's here. Is Rosaline, whom thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken? None knows love then lies not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. Yes, Maria, what a deal of brine hath washed thy sallow cheeks for Rosaline. Look, here upon thy cheek the stain does sit, and an old tear that is not washed off yet. Ere thou wast thyself, and these woes thine, thou and these woes were all for Rosaline. Art thou changed?
Thou shouldst be oft for loving Rosaline,
For doting, not for loving,
and badest me bury love.
not in a grave to lay one in, another out to
I
have.
prithee chide not. She whom I love now doth grace for grace, and love for love allow. The other did not so.
Oh, she knew well thy love did weep by rote and could not spell.
Hey,
Come, young river, come, go with me, for in what respect will thy assistant be? This alliance may so happy prove to turn your household rampant of pure love.
oh, let us hence! I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slow, they sail that run fast.
Where the devil should this Romeo be? Came she not home tonight?
Not to her father's.
That same pale, hard-hearted wench, that Rosaline, torments her so that she will sure run mad.
Tybalt, the kinsman of old Capulet, had sent a letter to her father's house.
Challenge on my life.
Romeo will answer it.
Alas, poor Romeo, she is already dead. Her stabbed with the white witch's black eye, and the very pin of her heart cleft with the blind bow boy's butt shaft. And is she a woman to encounter Tybalt?
Why, what is Tybalt?
More than Prince of Cats, I can tell you. He is a very courageous captain of compliments. He fights like you sing cricket song. He keeps time, distance, and proportion. Rest me his minimum rest. 1, 2, and a third in your bosom, the very butcher of a silk button. A duelist, a gentleman of the very first house. The first and the second cause. The immortal passado, the punto reverso, the high!
What?
The pox of such antic, lisping, affecting fantasticos. These new tuners of accents, by Jesu, a very good blade, a very tall man, a very good whore. Why, is this not a lamentable thing, grandsire, that we should be thus afflicted with these strange flies, these fashion mongers, these perdona-mes, who stand so much on the new form that they cannot at ease on the old bench. Oh, their bones, their bones!
Here comes Romeo. Here comes Romeo.
Mademoiselle Romeo, bonjour! There's a French salutation for your French slop. You gave us the counterfeit fairly last night.
Good morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give you?
The slip, lady, the slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon, good Mercutio. My business was great, and in such a case as mine, a woman may strain courtesy.
Nay, I am the very pink of courtesy.
The pink for flower.
Right.
Why, is my pump well flowered?
Well said. Follow me in this just now, till thou hast worn out thy pump. That once the single soul of it is worn, the jest may remain after the wearing soul singular.
Oh, single soul jest, solely singular for the singleness.
Benvolio, come between us, my wit's face.
Switch and spurs, or I'll cry a match.
Oh, thy wit is a very bitter sweeting. It is a most sharp sauce. Why is not this better now than groaning for love? Now art thou sociable. Now art thou Romeo. Now art thou what thou art, by art as well as by nature. For this driveling love is like a great natural that runs lolling up and down to hide her bubble in a hole.
Stop there. Here's good to hear.
Got any good morrow, gentle friends?
God do good then, fair gentlemen.
Is it good end?
'Tis no less, I tell you. For the body hand of the dial is now upon the prick of noon.
Out upon you! What a man are you!
A gentleman nurse that God hath made for himself tomorrow.
By my troth, it is well said, for himself to mar. Can you tell me where I find the young Romeo?
Oh, I can tell you. But the young Romeo will be older when you found her than she was when you saw her. I am that name for want of worse.
Ah, you say well.
Yea, is the worst well?
Ooh.
Very well said, your faith. Wisely, wisely.
If you be she, I desire some conference.
You will indict her to some supper.
Romeo, will you come to your father's? Will to dinner thither.
I will follow you.
Farewell, ancient man. Farewell, lady. Lady, oh, lady, oh, lady, oh, lady, oh, lady, oh, lady.
Mary, farewell! Pray you, lady, what saucy merchant was this that was so full of his roguery?
A man that loves to hear himself talk, and will speak more in a minute than he will stand to in a month.
Scurvy knave. I have none of his flirt gills. But I pray you, lady, a word. And as I told you, my lady bade me inquire you out, which she bade me say I will keep myself. But first let me tell you, if you should live in a fool's paradise, as they say, it were a very gross kind of behavior, as they say, but the lady is young, and therefore, if you should deal double with her, it were an ill thing to be offered to any gentlewoman, and very weak dealing.
I prithee, nurse, commend me to my mistress, I protest. Unto
Good
thee.
heart and in faith, I will tell her such. Oh, Lord, she will be a joy and faith.
What wilt thou tell her, nurse? Thou dost not mark me.
Oh, I will tell her that you do protest, which as I take it is a very ladylike offer.
Bid her devise some means to come to shrift this afternoon, where she shall, at Friar Lawrence' cell, be shrived and married.
This afternoon, lady? Well, she shall be there.
And stay, good nurse, behind the abbey wall. Within this hour my man shall be with thee, and bring thee cords made like a tackled stair, which to the high top gallant of my joy must be my convoy in the secret night. Farewell, be trusty, and I'll quit thy pains. Commend me to thy mistress.
Well, my mistress is the sweetest lady. Lord, when 'twas a little pretty thing. Oh, there is a nobleman, in town, one Paris, who would fain lay knife aboard, but she, good soul, had as lief see a toad, a very toad as see him. I anger her sometimes by saying that Paris is the proper match, but I warrant when I say so, she looks as pale as any cloud from the versal world.
Commend me to thy lady.
Aye, 1,000 times.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour he promised to return. Perchance he cannot meet her. That's not so. Love's herald should be thoughts, which 10 times faster glide than the sun's beams. Now is the sun upon the hindmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours, and he is not come. Had he affections and warm youthful blood, he would be as swift in motion as a ball. My words would bandy him to my sweet love, and hers to me. But old folks, many feign as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. Oh, God, he comes! Oh, honey nurse, what news? Hast thou met with her?
Come, give leave a while, I am a-weary. Fie, how my bones ache, what a jaunt have I had.
I would thou hadst my bones, nigh thy news. Nay, come, I pray thee, speak. Good nurse, speak.
What haste! Can you not give leave a while? Do you not see that I'm out of breath?
How art thou out of breath when thou hast breath to say to me that thou art out of breath? The excuse that thou was making this delay is longer than the tale thou dost excuse. Let me be satisfied.
Well, you know not how to choose a man. Oh, Romeo, no, not her. Though her face be better than any man's, yet her leg excels all men's, and for a hand and a foot and a body, they be not to be talked upon, yet they are beyond compare. She is not the flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant as gentle as a lamb. Go thy ways, went, serve God. Well, have you dined at home?
No, but all this I didn't know before. What says she of her marriage? What is that?
Ah, the horns for the head have I. Pizzas would fall in 20 pieces, my back at the other side. Ow! My back! God, my back. Be sure you are high for sending me about to catch my death with jaunting up and down.
Faith, I am sorry that thou art not well. Sweet nurse. Tell me what says my love.
Your love says, like an honest gentlewoman, kind, courteous, and handsome, and I'll warrant a virtuous. Where's your mother?
Where's my mother? Where she is within. Where should she be? All that thou repliest. Your love says, like an honest gentlewoman, where is your mother? Come! What says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to Shrift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence cell. There stays a woman there to make you a wife. Now the wanton blood comes up in your cheeks, they'll be scarlet straight at any news. I to church. I must another way to fetch a ladder by the which your love will climb a bird's nest sooner than it is night. I am the drudge, toil in your delight, but you shall bear the burden soon when it is night. Go, out to dinner. I to the cell.
Light up my fortune, honest nurse. Farewell.
So smile the heavens upon this holy act, that after hours of sorrow chide us not.
Amen. Amen. But come what sorrow can, it cannot countervail the exchange of joy that one short minute brings me in her sight. Do thou but close our hands with holy words, then love-devouring death, do what he dare. It is enough I may but call her mine.
These violent delights have violent ends, and in their triumphs die like fire and powder which as they kiss consume. Sweetest honey is loathsome in his own deliciousness, then taste confounds the appetite. Therefore, moderately. Long love did so. Too swift arrives as tardy is too slow. Here comes the lady.
Good evening to my ghostly confessor.
Romeo shall meet us both.
As much in her accounts as her thanks too much.
Oh, Juliet! If that the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, and that thy skill be more to blazon it, then sweeten with thy breath this neighbor air, and let rich music's tongue unfold the imagined happiness that both perceive in either by this dear encounter.
Conceits, more rich in matter than in words, brags of his substance, not his ornaments. They are but beggars that can count their worth. my true love has grown to such excess and not some half my wealth.
Come with me, and we shall make swift work, for by your leave shall not be left alone until Holy Church incorporate 2 in 1.
I pray thee, good Mercutio, rest, retire. The day is hot, the Capulets abroad, and if we meet, we shall not speak a brawl for now in these hot days, as the mad blood stir you.
Come, thou art as hot a jack in thy mood as any in Italy, and is soon moved to be moody, and is soon moody to be moved. Thou hast quarreled with a man for coughing in the street, because he hath waked thy dog that hath lain asleep in the sun, and yet thou wilt tutor me from quarrel.
Oh, and if I were so apt to quarrel as thou art, any man should buy the fee simple of my life for an hour and a quarter.
The fee simple. Oh, simple.
By my head, here comes a Capulet.
By my heel, I care not.
Gentlemen, good den. A word with one of you.
And but one word with one of us. Couple son. Make it a word and a blow.
Oh, you shall find me apt enough to that, sir. And you will give me an occasion.
Could you not take some occasion without giving?
Mercutio, thou consorts with Romeo.
Consorts! What, dost thou make us minstrels? And thou dost make minstrels of us, look to hear nothing but discord. Here's my fiddlestick, here's that shall make you dance, zoons, consort.
We talk here in the public haunt of men. Either withdraw and reason coldly of your grievance, or else depart. Here all eyes gaze on us.
Men's eyes were made to look, and let them gaze. I will not budge for no man's pleasure, I.
Well, peace be with you, sirs. Here comes my woman.
But I'll be hanged, sir, if she wears your livery. Mary, go before the field. She'll be your follower. Your worship in that sense may call her woman.
Romeo! The hate I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the reason I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain am I none, therefore farewell, I see thou knowst me not.
Girl, that shall not excuse the injuries thou hast done to me. Therefore turn and draw.
I do protest I never injured thee, but loved thee better than thou canst devise, till thou shalt know the reason of my love. And so good Capulet, which name I tender as dearly as my own, be satisfied.
Oh, calm, dishonorable, vile submission! Alice Staccato carries it away. Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk?
What wouldst thou have with me?
Oh, good king of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives. That I mean to make bold withal. And as you shall use me hereafter, dry beat the rest of the 8. Come, pluck your knife from its pitcher, lest mine be about your ears ere it be out.
I am for you.
Gentle Mercutio, put thy weapon up.
Come, sir, your passado!
Hey, gentlemen! Shame! Where is it? Mercutio! God, the prince expressly hath forbidden banding in Verona streets. Oh, Tybalt! Good Mercutio!
I heard a plague of both your houses. I am sped. Is he gone and hath nothing?
Courage, man. Courage, the hurt cannot be much.
No, 'tis not so deep as a well, nor so wide as a church door, but 'tis enough. 'Twill serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man. A plague of both your houses. Zoons, a dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat, to scratch a man to death. A braggart, a rogue, a villain who fights by the book of arithmetic. Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm.
I thought all for the best.
Help me into some house, Benvolio, or I shall fade. A plague of both your houses. They have made worms meat of me, and soundly too. Your houses!
This gentleman, the prince's near ally, my very friend, has got his mortal hurt in my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander, Tybalt, that an hour hath been my kinsman. Juliet, thy beauty hath softened valor's steel. Mercutio is dead! The fallen spirit hath aspired the clouds which do untimely here did scorn the earth. This day's black fate on more days doth depend. This but begins the woe others must end. Here comes the furious Tybalt back again! Alive, in triumph and Mercutio slain. Away to heaven, respective lenity. And fire and fury be my conduct now. Now, Tybalt! Take back again the villain that late thou gavest me. For Mercutio's soul is but a little way above our heads, staying for thine to keep him company. Either thou or I or both must go with him.
Thou, wretched girl that didst consort him here, shall with him hence.
This shall deter me back! Romeo, away! Be gone! The citizens are up and Tybalt slain. Stand not amazed, the prince will do thee death if thou art taken hence. Be gone! Away! Oh. I am fortune's fool. Why dost thou stay?
Which way ran he that killed Mercutio? Not villain Tybalt. Which way ran he?
There lies that Tybalt!
Where are the vile beginners of this fray?
No, noble prince. I can discover all the unlucky vantage of this fatal brawl. There lies that man slain by young Romeo who slew thy kinsman, brave Mercutio. Tybalt, oh, my brother's child. Oh, prince, oh, cousin, oh, husband. Oh, the blood is spilt. Brave kinsman. Prince, as thou art true, for blood of our shed blood of Montague. Cousin.
Benvolio, who began this bloody fray?
Tybalt, here slain who Romeo's hand did slay. Romeo could not take truths with unruly sweep of Tybalt death to peace, but that he tilts with piercing steel at bold Mercutio's breast. Romeo, she cries aloud, hold! Friends, pardon swifter than her tongue twixt them brushes underneath, whose arm an envious thrust from Tybalt hid the life of bold Mercutio. And then Tybalt fled, but by comes back to Romeo, who had but newly entertained revenge, and two they go like lightning, for ere I could draw to part them was Tybalt slain. And as he fell, did Romeo turn and fly. This is the truth, else let Benvolio die.
She is a kinsman to the Montague. She speaks not true. Some 20 of them would have fought in this black strife, and all 20 could but kill one life. Prince, I beg for justice, which thou must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him. He slew Mercutio. Who then the price of his dear blood doth owe?
Not Romeo, prince, she was Mercutio's friend. Her fault would conclude with claw should end. Life of Tybalt.
And for that offense, immediately we do exile her hence. I have an interest in your hate's proceeding. My blood for your rude brawls doth lie a-bleeding. But I'll amerce you with so strong a fine that you shall all repent the loss of mine.
Please.
I will be deaf to pleading and excuses. Nor tears, nor prayer shall purchase out abuses. Therefore use none. Let Romeo hence in haste. Else, when she's found, that hour is her last. Bear hence this body and attend our will. Mercy but murderers, pardoning those that you kill.
gallop apace, you fiery-footed steeds, toward Phoebus' lodging. Spread thy close curtain, love-performing night, that runaways' eyes may blink, and Romeo leap to these arms, untalked of and unseen. Come, civil knight, thou sober-suited matron all in black, and learn me how to lose a winning match played for a pair of stainless maidenhoods. Come, gentle knight, come, loving, black-browed knight, give me my Romeo. And when she shall die, take her and cut her out in little stars, and she will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, here comes my nurse, and he brings news in every tongue that speaks but Romeo's name speaks heavenly eloquence. Now, nurse, what news? What hast thou there? The cords that Romeo made thee fetch.
Aye, the cords. Cords.
I mean, what news? Why dost thou wring thy hands?
Oh, well, day. Dead. 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 We are undone, lady. We are undone.
Can heaven be so envious?
Romeo can, though heaven cannot. Romeo. Romeo, whoever would have thought it. Romeo! I saw the wound. I saw it with my eyes. Oh, piteous course. Oh, bloody, piteous course. Pale as ashes, all bedaubed in blood. All in gore blood. I swooned at the sight.
Oh, break my heart. Poor bankrupt, break at once. To prison eyes, ne'er look on liberty. Vile earth to earth resign, end motion here, and thou and Romeo press one heavy bier.
Oh, Tybalt, honest gentleman, that ever I should live to see thee dead.
What storm is this that blows so contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered and is Tybalt dead? My dear loved cousin and my dearer lady. Then dreadful trumpets sound the general doom, for who is living if these two are gone?
Tybalt is gone, and Romeo is vanishing. Romeo that killed him, she is banished.
Oh, God. Did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood?
It did. Lack the day, it did.
Oh, serpent heart! Hid with a flowering face! Did ever dragon keep so fair a cave? Beautiful tyrant, fiend, angelical, just opposite to what thou justly seemst, a damned saint, an honorable villain. Oh, nature, what hast thou to do in hell when thou didst devour the spirit of a fiend in moral paradise of such sweet flesh? Was ever book containing such vile matter so fairly bound? Oh, that deceit should dwell in such a gorgeous palace!
There's no honesty, no trust, no faith in women, all perjured, all forsworn, all not, all dissemblers. Where's my man? Or Aquavitae. These sorrows, these griefs, these woes make me old. Shame come to Romeo!
Blistered be thy tongue for such a wish. She was not born to shame, upon her brow shame is a shame to sit, for it is a throne where honor may be crowned sole monarch of the universal earth. But a beast was I that shied at her.
Will you speak well of her that killed your cousin?
Shall I speak ill of her that is my wife? Oh, poor my lady, what tongue shall smooth thy name when I, thy 3 hours wife, have mangled it? Wherefore, villain, didst thou kill my cousin? The villain cousin would have killed my wife. Back, foolish tears, back to your native springs. My wife lives, that Tybalt would have slain, and Tybalt's dead that would have slain my wife. All this is comfort. Wherefore weep I then? Some word there was, worser than Tybalt's death that murdered me. I would forget it fain, but oh, it presses to my memory like damned guilty deeds to sinners' minds. Tybalt is dead, but Romeo banished. That banished, that one word banished hath slain 10,000 Tybalts. Tybalt's death was woe enough. Romeo is banished. To speak that word is father, mother, Tybalt, Romeo, Juliet, all slain, all dead. Romeo is banished. There is no measure, limit, bound in that word's death. No words can that woe sound. Where is my father and my mother, nurse?
Weeping and wailing over Till's corpse. Will you go to them? I will bring you thither.
Wash they his wounds with tears. Mine will be spent when theirs are tried for Romeo's banishment. Take up those cords. Poor ropes, you were beguiled, both you and I, for Romeo was exiled. He made you for a highway to my bed. But I, a maid, die maiden widowed. Come, cords, come! Nurse, all to my wedding bed, and death not Romeo take my maiden head!
Hide your chamber! I'll find your Romeo to comfort you. I wot well where she is. Hark ye, your Romeo will be here at night. I'll tell her she's here a moment so.
Find her, give this ring to my true knight, bid her come to take her last farewell.
Romeo, come forth. Come forth, thou fearful woman. Affliction is enamored of thy parts, and thou art wedded to calamity.
Father, what news? What is the prince's doom? What sorrow craves acquaintance at my hand that I yet know not?
Too familiars, my dear child, with such sour company. I bring thee tidings of the prince's doom.
What less than doomsday is the prince's doom?
The gentler judgment vanished from his lips. Not body's death, but body's banishment.
Banishment? Be merciful, say death. For exile hath more terror in his look, much more than death. Do not say banishment.
Hence from Verona art thou banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona wall. Torture hell itself. Hence banished is banished from the world, and world's exile is death. Then banished is death, this term calling death banishment. Thou cutt'st my head off with a golden axe, and smilest upon the stroke that murders me.
Oh, deadly sin! Oh, rude unthankfulness! Thy fault our law calls death, but the kind prince, taking thy part, hath brushed aside the law and turned that black word death to banishment. This is dear mercy, and thou seest it not.
'Tis torture and not mercy. Heaven is here where Juliet lives, and every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing, live here in heaven and may look on her, but Romeo may not. More validity, more honorable state, more courtship lives in carrion flies than Romeo. They may seize on the white wonder of Juliet's hand and steal immortal blessing from her lips, which even in pure and vestal modesty still blush as thinking their own kisses sin. But Romeo may not. She is banished. And say'st thou yet that exile is not death? Hadst thou no poison mixed, no sharp ground knife, no sudden mean of death, but ne'er so mean but banished? To kill me with banish? Friar, the damned use that word in hell! Howlings attendant, how hadst thou no heart? Being a divine, a ghostly confessor, a sin absolver, and my friend, profess to mangle me with that word banishment!
Thou madman, hear me but speak a word!
Thou wilt speak again of banishment! Thou canst not speak of that thou dost not feel! Wert thou as young as I, Juliet thy love, an hour but married, Tybalt murdered, doting like me, and like me banished, then mightst thou tear thy hair, then mightst thou speak, then mightst thou fall upon the ground as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave.
Arise, one knocks, good Romeo, hide thyself.
Not I, unless the breath of heart's 6 roads, mist-like enfold me from the searching eye.
Hark how they knock. Who's there? Romeo, arise, thou will be taken. Sitting a while, stand up, run to my study. Mine and not God's will, what simpleness is this? I come, who knocks so hard? Whence come you? What is your will?
Let me come in and you will know my errand. I come from Lady Juliet.
Welcome then.
Oh, Friar, tell me, holy Friar, where's my lady's lady? Where's Romeo?
They are on the ground with her own tears made drunk.
Oh, she's even my mistress' case. Just in her case. Hideous predicament, woeful sympathy, even so lies she, blubbering and weeping, weeping and blubbering. Stand up! Stand up! Stand and you be a woman. For her sake, for Juliet's sake, rise and stand! Why should you fall into so deep an O?
Nurse,
Ah, lady, well, death's the end of all.
speakest thou of Juliet? How is with her? Does she not think me an old murderer now that I have stained the childhood of our joy with blood removed but little from her own? Where is she? And how doth she and what says my concealed lady to our cancelled love?
Oh, she says nothing, but weeps and weeps. Now falls on her bed, and then starts up, and Tybalt cries, and then Romeo calls, and down falls again.
As if that name, shot from the deadly level of a gun, did murder her. As that name's cursed hand murdered her kinsman. Tell me, friar, tell me in what vile part of this anatomy doth my name lodge. Tell me that I may sack the hateful mansion.
Thought thy disposition better tempered. Hast thou slain Tybalt? Wilt thou slay thyself, and slay thy lady too that lives in thee by doing damn and hate upon thyself? What, rouse thee, woman! A pack of blessings lights upon thy back, and thou, like a misbehaved insolent wench, pounced upon thy fortune and thy love. Take heed, for such die miserable. Go, get thee to thy love as was decreed. Send her chamber hence and comfort her. But look thou stay not till the watch be set, for then thou canst not pass to Mantua. Thou shalt live till we can find a time to blaze your marriage, reconcile your friends, beg pardon of the prince, and call thee back with 2,000 times more joy than thou wentst forth with lamentations. Go before, nurse. Commend me to thy lady, and bid her hasten all the house to bed, which heavy sorrow makes them apt unto. Romeo is coming.
God, I could have stayed here all night to hear good counsel. Lord, what learning is. I will tell my lady that you will come.
Do so, and bid my sweet prepare to chide.
Here, lady, a ring that my lady bade me give you. How you make haste for the gross railway.
How well my comfort is revived by this.
So hence, good night. Here stands all your state. Either be gone before the watch be set, or by the break of day disguise from hence sojourn in Mantua. Find out your man, and you shall signify from time to time every good hap to you that chances here. Give me thy hand. 'Tis late. Farewell. Good night.
But that a joy past joy calls out on me. Were a grief so brief to part with me. Farewell.
Things have fallen out, sir, so unluckily that we've had no time to use our daughter. But you, she loved her kinsman Tybalt dearly, and so did I. It seemed we were born to die. It is very late. She'll not come down tonight. I promise you, my lord, but for your company, I would have been to bed an hour ago.
These times of woe afford no times to mourn. Madam, good night. Commend me to your daughter.
I will. I mount her mind early tomorrow. Tonight she is mewed up to her heaviness.
Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love. I think she will be ruled in all respects by me. The more I doubt it not. Wife, go to her ere you go to bed. Acquaint her here with my son Paris's love, and bid her mark you me on Wednesday next. It's what day is it today?
Thursday, my lord? Oh, or rather Monday.
Well, Wednesday is too soon. Thursday. Let it be a Thursday. Tell her she shall be married to this noble earl. How do you like this? Do you like his haste? We'll keep no great ado. A friend or two, for Tybalt being slain so late, it may be thought, held him carelessly, being our kinsman if we do revel much. Therefore we'll have some half a dozen friends, and there in it. Let's say you to Thursday.
My lord, I would that Thursday were tomorrow.
As you God, Thursday let it be. Go to Juliet, prepare her wife against this wedding day. Farewell, my lord. Light to my chamber, ho! It grows so very late, we may call it early by and by. Good night!
Wilt thou be gone? It is not yet your day. It was the nightingale and not the lark that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. Nightly she sings in yon pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
It was the lark, the herald of the moor, no nightingale. Look, love, what envious streaks do lace the severing clouds in yonder east. Night's candles are burnt out, and jocund day stands tiptoe on the misty mountain tops. I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Yon light is not daylight. I know it I. It is some meteor that the sun exhales. To be to be a torchbearer, it might be on my way to Mantua. Your first day yet? Don't be gone.
Let me be tame. Let me be put to death. I am content, so thou wilt have it so. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come, death, and welcome. Juliet wills it so. How is my soul? Let's talk. 'Tis not yet day.
It is, hie hence, be gone, away. It is the lark that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasant sharps. Some say the lark makes sweet division. This doth not so, for she divideth us. Oh, now be gone, more light and light it grows.
More light and light, more dark and dark our woes.
Madam,
Nurse,
your lady mother is coming to the chamber. The day is broke. Beware, look about.
and window, let day in and let life out.
Farewell, farewell. One kiss and all set.
Art thou gone so? Love, lady, my wife, friend, I must hear from thee every day within the hour, for in a minute there are many days. Oh, by this count I shall be much in years ere I again behold my Romeo.
I will omit no opportunity that may convey my greetings, love, to thee.
Oh, thinkst thou that we shall ever meet again?
I doubt it not, and all our woes shall serve for sweet discourses in our time to come.
Oh God, I have an ill-dividing soul. Methinks I see thee now thou art below as one dead in a tomb. Whether mine eye deceives me or thou looks pale.
Believe me, love, in my eyes, so do you. Dry sorrow drinks our blood. Adieu. Adieu.
Oh, fortune, fortune, all men call thee fickle. If thou art fickle, what hast thou to do with her who is renowned for faith? Be fickle, fortune, then I hope thou wilt not keep her long, but send her back.
Oh, daughter, are you up?
Who is that calls? Is it my lady mother? Is she not down so late or up so early? What unaccustomed cause appears her hither?
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Evermore weeping over your cousin's death? What, wouldst thou watch him from your tears with grief? And if thou couldst not make him live. Therefore have done. Some grief shows much of love, but much of grief shows want of wit.
Yet let me weep for such a feeling loss.
So shall you feel the loss, but not the friend which thou weepst for.
Feeling so the loss cannot choose but ever weep the friend.
Well, girl, thou weepst not so much for his death as that the villain lives who slaughtered him.
What villain, madam?
That same villain, Romeo.
Villain and she be many miles asunder. God pardon her. I do with all my heart. And yet no woman like her to create my heart.
That is because the traitor murderer lives.
I, in the reach of these my hands, would none but I might avenge my cousin's death.
We will have vengeance for it. Fear thou not. Then weep no more. I'll send to one in Mantua, whereby that banished renegade doth live, shall give her such an unaccustomed dram that she shall soon keep Tybalt company. Then I hope thou wilt be satisfied.
Indeed, I never shall be satisfied with Romeo till I behold her. Dead is my poor heart for a kinsman vexed. Madam, if you could find out but a man to bear such a poison, I would temper it, that Romeo should, upon receipt thereof, soon sleep in quiet. Oh, how my heart abhors to hear her named, and cannot come to her, to wreak the love I bore my cousin upon her body that slaughtered him.
Find thou the means, and I'll find such a man. But now I bring thee joyful tidings, girl.
And joy comes well in such a needy time. What are they, such your ladyship?
Well, thou hast a careful child, father, one who to put thee from thy heaviness hath sorted out a sudden day of joy, which thou expectst not, nor I looked not for.
Madam, in happy time, what day is this?
Mary, my child, early next Thursday morn, the noble, young, and glamorous gentleman, the County Paris, shall happily make thee there his joyful bride.
Now, by St. Peter's Church and Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride. I wonder at this haste that I should be wed, ere he that should be husband comes to woo. Nay, tell my lord and father I will not marry yet. These are news indeed.
Here comes your father now. Tell him so yourself, and see how he will take it at your hand.
When the sun sets, the air doth drizzle dew, but for the sunset of my brother's son, it doth rain. Downright, how now a conduit, girl? What, still in tears? From more showering, how now have you not delivered to her our decree?
Aye, sir, but she will none. She gives you thanks. I would the fool were married to her grave.
Soft. Take me with you to what? How will she none? Does she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Does she not count herself blessed, unworthy as she is, that we have wrought so worthy a gentleman to be her bridegroom?
Not proud. You have, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, but thankful even for hate that is meant to love.
I don't know. Young chop logic, what is this? Proud, and I thank you, and yet I thank you not, and yet not yet proud. Mistress Minion, you. Thank me no thankings, nor proud me no prouds, but fettle your fine joints against Thursday next, to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church, or I will drag thee on a hurdle thither. You green sickness, carrion, you baggage, you tallow face.
Fie, are you mad?
Father, I beseech you on my knees, hear me with patience, but to speak a word.
Hand thee, young baggage. Disobedient wretch, I tell thee what, get thee to church on Thursday, or never after look me in the face. Speak not, reply not, do not answer me. My fingers itch. Wife, we scarce thought ourselves blessed that God hath lent us but this only child, but now I see this one is one too much, and we have a curse in having her. Out on her, Hilding!
God in heaven bless her. You are to blame, my lord, to array her thus!
And why? My lord, wisdom. Hold thy tongue. Good prudence is the matter with your gossips. Go.
I speak no treason.
God ye gooden.
May not one speak?
Peace, you mumbling fool! Utter your gravity or gossip's bowl, for here we need it not!
You are too hot.
God's bread. It makes me mad. Day and night, hour, tide, time, work or play, alone or in company, still my care hath been to have her matched. And now, having provided a gentleman of noble character, stuffed, as they say, with honorable qualities, proportioned as one's thought would have a man, and then to have a wretched, puling fool, a whining mammoth in her fortune's tender to answer, I am too young, I cannot love, I cannot wed, you must pardon me. But you will not wed, I'll pardon you. Graze where you will, you shall not house with me. Look to it and think on it, I do not use to jest. Thursday is near, so lay a hand on heart and advise. And you be mine, I'll give you to my friend. And you be not, hang, beg, starve, die in the streets, for I'll ne'er acknowledge thee, nor none of mine shall ever do thee good. Trust to it, bethink you, I'll not be forsworn.
Is there no pity sitting in the clouds that sees into the bottom of my grief? Oh, sweet my mother, cast me not away! Delay this marriage for a month, a week, or if thou wilt not make my bridal bed in that dim monument where Tybalt lies.
Talk not to me, for I'll not say a word. Do as thou wilt, for I have done with thee.
Oh, God. Oh, nurse, how shall this be prevented? My wife is on earth, my faith in heaven. How shall that faith return again to earth unless my wife send me from heaven by leaving earth? Comfort me, counsel me. Alack, that heaven should practice stratagems upon so soft a subject as myself. What sayest thou? Hast thou not a word of joy, some comfort, nurse?
Faith, here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to naught that she dares ne'er come back to challenge you, or if she do it must needs be by stealth. Then, since the case stands as now it doth, I think it best that you married with the county. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman, an eagle, madam, hath not so quick, so fair, so green an eye as Paris hath. Beshrew my heart for saying so, but I think you are happy in this second match, for it excels your first. Or if it did not, your first is dead. Whereas good she were you living here and of no use of her.
Speakst thou from thy heart?
Aye, and from my soul too, or else beshrew them both.
Amen.
What?
Well, thou hast comforted me marvelous much. Go in and tell my mother I am gone, having displeased my father, to Lawrence's cell to make confession and to be absolved.
Mary, I will, and this is wisely done.
Ancient damnation, almost wicked fate. Is it more sin to wish me thus forsworn, or to dispraise my lady with that same tongue which hath praised her with so many thousand times? Go, counselor, thou in my bosom henceforth shall be twain. Call to the friar to know his remedy. If all else fails, myself have power to die.
On Thursday, sir. The time is very
My
short.
father Capulet will have it so, and I am nothing slow to slack his haste.
Say you do not know the lady's mind. Uneven is the course. I like not.
Moderately she weeps for Tybalt's death, and therefore have I little talked of love. For Venus smiles not in the house of tears. Now, sir, her father counts it dangerous that she doth give her sorrow so much sway, and in his wisdom hastes our marriage to stop the inundation of her tears, which, too much minded by herself alone, may be cut from her by society. Now do you know the reason of this haste?
Well, you know, it should be slow. And look, sir, here comes the lady toward my cell.
Happily met, my lady and my wife.
I may be, sir, when I may be a wife.
That maybe must be love on Thursday next.
But must be, shall be.
Come you to make confession to this father.
Answer that I should confess to you.
Do not deny to him that you love me.
I will confess to you that I love him.
So will ye, I am sure, that you love me.
If I do so, it will be of more Christ being spoke behind your back than to your face.
Poor soul. Face is much engaged with tears.
The tears have got little victory by that, for it was bad enough before their smites.
The wrongs did more than tears with that report.
That is no wrong, sir, that which is the truth. And what I spake it to my face.
Thy face is mine, and thou hast slandered it.
Maybe so, for it is not mine own. Are you at leisure, Holy Father, now, or shall I come to you at evening mass?
My leisure serves me, pensive daughter, now. My lord, we must entreat the time alone.
God shield this should disturb devotion. Juliet, on Thursday early I will rouse you. Till then, adieu. And keep this holy kiss.
Oh, shut the door. And when thou hast done so, come weep with me. Past hope, past cure, past help.
But Juliet, already I know thy griefs. It strains me past the compass of my wits. I hear thou must, and nothing may prorogue it, on Thursday next be married to this county.
Tell me not, friar, that thou hearest of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. If in thy wisdom thou canst give no help, do thou but call my resolution wise, and with this knife I'll help it presently. God joined my heart and Romeo's, thou our hands, and ere this hand by thee to Romeo sealed shall be the label to another deed, or my true heart with treacherous bolt turn to another, this shall slay them both. Therefore, out of my long experienced time, give me some present counsel. Or behold, twixt my extremes and me, this bloody knife shall play the counselor, arbitrating that with the commission of thy years art could to no issue of true honor bring. Be not so long to speak, I long to die. If what thou speak not a remedy.
Oh, God. I do spy a kind of hope that craves as desperate an execution as that is desperate with revenge. Rather than to marry County Paris, thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself, then it is likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death to try away the shame which copes with death himself to escape from it. If thou darest, I'll give thee remedy.
Bid me leap rather than marry Paris from off the battlements of yonder tower. Or bid me go into a new-made grave and hide me with a dead man in his shroud. Things which to hear them told have made me tremble. And I will do it without fear or doubt to live an unstained wife to my sweet love.
Hold then. Go home, be married, give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night that thou lie alone, but not thy nurse lie with thee in thy chamber. Take thou this vial, being then in bed, and this distilled liquor drink thou off. Presently through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humor, and no pulse shall keep his native progress but surcease. No warmth, no breath shall testify thou livest. And in this barred likeness of shrunk death thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake as from a pleasant sleep. Now in the morning when the bridegroom comes to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou dead. Then thou shalt be borne to death's ancient vault where all the kindred of the Capulets lie. In the meantime, Against thou shalt await, shall Romeo by my letters know our grip. Hither shall she come. She and I will watch thy waking. That very night shall Romeo bear thee hence to Mantua. And this shall free thee from this present shame. If no inconstant toy nor womanish fear abate thy valor in the act again.
Give me, oh tell me not of fear.
Take you gone, strong and prosperous in this resolve. Send a friar with speed to Mantua with my letters to your wife.
Love give me strength, and strength shall help afford. Farewell, dear father.
What? Is my daughter gone to Friar Lawrence?
Aye, forsooth.
You may chance to do some good on her, just peevish, self-willed harlotry. It is.
See where she comes from shrift with Mary.
I'm now my headstrong. Where have you been gadding?
To repent the sin of disobedient opposition to you and your behests, and am enjoined by Friar Lawrence to fall prostrate here and beg your pardon. Pardon, I beseech you. Henceforth am I ever ruled by you.
Send for the council. Let him know of this. I'll have this knot knit up tomorrow morning.
I met the youthful lord at Lawrence Cell, and gave him what becometh love I might not overstep the bounds of modesty.
I am glad of it. Stand at this as well. This is as should be. Let me see the county. Before God, this reverend holy friar, our whole city is much bound to him.
Nurse, will you go with me into my closet to sort such needful ornaments as you think fit to furnish me tomorrow?
No, not till Thursday. 'Tis time enough.
Go, nurse, go with her. Well, to church tomorrow.
We shall be short in our provision. 'Tis now near night.
Tush! I will stir about, and all things shall be well, I warn thee, wife. Go to Juliet. I'll deck her up. I'm not to bed tonight. Let me alone. I'll play the housewife for this once. What ho! They're all forth. Well, I will walk myself to County Parish to prepare him up against tomorrow. My heart is so wondrous light since this wayward girl is so proclaimed.
These attires are best, but I pray you, nurse, leave me to myself tonight, for I have need of many oritions to move the heavens to smile upon my state, which well thou knowest is cross and full of sin.
Poor daughter, are you busy? Need you my help?
No, madam, we have culled such necessaries as you think fit to furnish us tomorrow. Now, if you please, let me now be left alone, and let the nurse this night sit up with you, for I am sure you have your hands full all in this so sudden business.
Good night. Get thee to bed, and rest, for thou hast need.
Farewell. God knows when we shall ever meet again. I have a faint, cold fear that thrills through my veins and almost freezes up the heat of life. I'll call them back again to comfort me. Nurse! What should he do here? My dismal scene I needs must act alone. Come. Bye. What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I be married then tomorrow morning? No. No, this shall prevent it. Lay thou there. What if, when I am laid into the tomb, I wake before the time that Romeo come to redeem me? Oh, there's a fearful point. Shall I not then be stifled in the vault? Or if I live, is it not very like the horrible conceit of death and night, together with the terror of the place, as in a vault, an ancient monument where the bones of my ancestors are for me this many hundred years packed, where Tybalt yet but green in earth lies festering in his shroud? Oh, if I wake, shall I not be distraught and fired with all these hideous things, and pluck the mangled Tybalt from his shroud? Oh, look! Methinks I see my cousin's ghost seeking out Romeo, which did spin his body on a weapon's point. Stay, Tybalt, stay! Romeo, I come. This too I trick to thee.
Mistress? What, mistress? Sweetheart? Juliet? Bride? But not a word. Take your pennyworths now. Sleep for a week. For the next night, I warn you, the county parish has said of his rest that you shall rest but little. Will it not be? Dressed? In your clothes, and down again, I must needs make you. Lady! Lady! Lady? Alas! Alas! Help! Help! Oh, well the day that ever I was born! The Lord will be down. My lord! My lady!
What noise is here?
Oh, lamentable day!
What is the matter?
Look! Look! Oh, heavy day!
Oh me. Oh me. My child. My only life. Revive, look up, or I will die with thee. Help. Help! Call help!
Shane, bring Juliet forth. Her lord is come.
She's dead! She's dead! Alive or dead?
She's dead. She's dead. She's dead.
Let me see her out. Alas, she's cold. Blood is settled and her joints are stiff. Life and those lips have long been parted. Death lies upon her like an untimely frost. The sweetest flower of all the field. Death, in her hence to make me wail, ties up my tongue and will not let me speak.
Come, is the bride ready to go to church?
Ready to go, but never to return. Son, the night before thy wedding day hath death lain with thy wife. There she lies. Flower she was, deflowered by him. Death is my son-in-law. Death is my heir. My daughter he hath wedded. I will die and leave him all. Life, living, all is death's.
I fought long to see this morning's face. Nothing give me such a sight as this.
One poor and loving child, and cruel death hath catched it from my sight.
Guiled, forced, and rugged spite and slain. A most detestable death by thee beguiled. Cruel cruelty quite overthrown. Oh, love, life, not life, but love.
My child. My soul, and yet not my child. Dead art thou. Alack, my child is dead. And with my child, my hopes are buried.
Peace, hope for shame. If in yourself have pardoned this for a maid, now heaven hath all, and all the better is it for the maid. Dry up your tears, and stick your rosemary on this course, and as the custom is, and all her best array bear her to church. For though fond nature bids us and lament, yet nature's tears are reason's merriment.
All things that we ordained festival turn from their purpose to blackest funeral. Our wedding cheer to a sad burial feast, and our bridal flowers to serve for a funeral's course. And all things change themselves to the contrary.
Sir, go you in, and madam go with him. And go, Sir Paris. Everyone prepare to follow this fair corse into her grave. The heavens do lower upon you for some ill. Move them no more by crossing their high will.
I trust the flattering truth of sleep. My dreams presage some joyful news at hand. I dreamt my lady came and found me dead. Strange dream that gives a dead woman leave to think, and breathed such life with kisses in my lips that I revived and was an emperor. Oh me, how sweet is love itself possessed when but love's shadows are so rich in joy. News from Verona, how now, Balthazar? Dost thou not bring me letters from the friar? How doth my lady? Are my fathers well? How fares my Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well.
Then she is well, and nothing can be ill. Her body sleeps in Capel's monument, and her immortal heart with angels lives. I saw her laid low in her kindred's vault, and presently took post to tell it you. Go, pardon me for bringing these ill news, since you did leave it to my office, lady.
Is even so. Then I defy you, stars! Thou knowest my logic. Get me ink and paper, and hire post horses. I will hence tonight.
I do beseech you, lady, have patience. Your looks are pale and wild, and do have words of misadventure.
Tush! Thou art deceived. Leave me and do the thing I bid thee do. Hast thou no letters to me from the friar?
No, my good lady.
No matter. Get thee gone, and hire those horses. I'll be with thee straight. Oh, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Let's see for means. Oh, mischief, thou art swift to enter in the thoughts of desperate women. I do remember an apothecary, and hereabout he dwells, whom late I noted sharp misery had warned him to the bones. What? Oh, apothecary!
Who calls so loud?
Come hither, man. I see that thou art poor. Hold. There is 40 ducats. Let me have a dram of poison, such soon speeding gear as will disperse itself through all the veins, that the life-weary taker may fall dead, and that the trunk may be discharged of breath as violently as hasty powder fire to hurry from the fatal cannon's wound.
Such mortal drugs I have, but Mantua's law is death to any he that utters.
Art thou so bare, and full of wretchedness, and fierce to die? Famine is in thy cheeks, need and oppression starveth in thine eyes, contempt and beggary hangs upon thy back. The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world affords no law to make thee rich. Then be not poor, but break it and take this.
My poverty, but not my will, he says.
I pay thy poverty and not thy will.
Put this in any liquid thing you have, and drink it off. For if you had the strength of 20 men, it should dispatch your strength.
There is thy gold. Worse poison to men's souls, doing more murders in this loathsome world than these poor compounds that thou mayst not sell. I sell thee poison, thou hast sold me none. Farewell. Buy food and get thyself in flesh. Come cordial, and not poison. Go with me to Juliet's grave, for there must I use thee.
Holy Franciscan friar, brother, ho!
This place what should be Friar John. Welcome from Mantua. What says Romeo? Or, if her mind be right, give me her letter.
Going to seek a barefoot brother out, one of our order, to associate me. Here in this city visiting the sick, and finding him, the searchers of the town, suspecting that we both had been in a house where the infectious pestilence did reign, sealed up the gates and would not let us forth, so that my speed to Mantua there was stayed.
Bear my letter then to Romeo.
I could not deliver it. Here it is again, nor send a messenger to bring it thee. So fearful were they of infection.
Oh, unhappy fortune, by my brotherhood, this letter was not nice, but full of charge of dear import, and neglecting it may do much danger. Friar John, go hence, get me an iron crown, bring it straight unto my cell.
Brother, I'll go and bring it thee.
Now must I to the monument alone. In 3 hours will fair Juliet wait. She will assure me much that Romeo hath had no notice of these accidents, but I will ride again to Mantua and keep her at my cell till Romeo come. Or a living corpse closed in a dead man's tomb.
Give me thy torch, boy.
Hence, and stand aloof.
Sweet
flowers thy bridal bed, my stern. Oh, thy canopy is dust and stones, which sweet water nightly I will do, for wanting that with tears, still my moments. The obsequies which I for thee will keep nightly shall be to strew thy grave. Something of the prayer. What cursed foot wanders this way today to cross my obsequies in true love's right? Or with a torch? Muffle me night the while.
Hold. Take this letter. Early in the morning, see thou deliver it to my father's. Give me the light. Upon thy life, I charge thee, whate'er thou hearst or seest, stand all aloof and do not interrupt me in my course. Hence be gone. But if thou shallest return to pry in what I further shall intend to do, by heaven, I will tear thee joint by joint and strew this hungry churchyard with thy limbs. The tide and my intents are savage wild, more fierce and more inexorable far than empty tigers or the roaring sea.
I will be gone, lady, and not trouble you.
So shalt thou show me friendship. Farewell. Live and be prosperous, good fellow.
For all this same, I'll hide me hereabouts. Her looks I fear, and her intents I doubt.
Thou detestable moth, thou womb of death, gorged with the dearest morsel of the earth. Thus I'll enforce thy rotten jaws to open, and in despite I'll cram thee with more food.
This is that vanished haughty Montague that murdered my love's cousin. But with grief it is supposed the fair creature died. Here is come to do some villainous shame to the dead bodies. I will apprehend her. Stop thy unhallowed toil, vile Montague. Can vengeance be pursued further than death? Condemned villain, I do apprehend thee. Obey and go with me, for thou must die.
I must indeed, and therefore came I hither. Good, gentle youth, tempt not a desperate woman. Fly hence and leave me. Think upon these gone, let them affright me. I beseech thee, youth, put not another sin upon my head by urging me to fury. By heaven, I love thee better than myself, for I came hither armed against myself. Stay not, but fly, live, and hereafter say a woman's mercy bade thee run away.
I do defy thy conjurations and apprehend thee for a felon here.
Wilt thou provoke me? Then have at thee, boy!
No! I'll go call the watch.
No! Oh! I am slain. If thou be merciful, open the tomb. Lay me with Juliet.
In faith I will. Let me peruse this face. Mercutio's kinsman, noble county Paris. Give me thy hand, one writ with me in sour misfortune's book. I'll bury thee in a triumphant grave. Grave. Oh no, a lantern, slaughtered youth, for here lies Juliet, and her beauty makes this vault of feasting presence full of light. Death, lie thou there, by a dead woman interred. Juliet, death that hath sucked the honey of thy breath hath had no power yet upon thy beauty. Thou art not conquered. Beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks, and death's pale flag is not advanced there. Tybalt, liest thou there in thy bloody sheath? What more favor can I do to thee than with that hand that cut thy youth in twain to sunder hers that was thine enemy? Forgive me, cousin. Juliet, I still will stay with thee, and never from this palace of dim night depart again. Here will I set up my everlasting rest, and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars from this world-weary flesh. Eyes, take your last. Arms, take your last embrace. And lips, oh, you the doors of breath, seal with a righteous kiss a dateless bargain to engrossing death. Come, bitter conduct. Come,
Unsavory guide, now at once run on the dashing rocks thy seasick, weary bark. Here's to my love. Oh, true, huh? Thy drugs are quick. Thus with a kiss, I die.
St. Francis be my speed. For off tonight have my old feet stumbled to graves. Who's there?
Here's one, a friend, and one that knows you well.
Peace be upon you. Tell me, good my friend, what torch is yon that vainly lends his lights to grubs and eyeless skulls? I discern it burneth in the capel's monument.
It doth so, holy sir. And there's my lady, one whom you love,
Who is it?
Romeo.
How long hath she been there?
Full half an hour.
Go with me to the wall.
I dare not, sir. My lady knows not, but I am gone hence, and did fearfully menace me with death if I did stay to look on her intents.
Stay then. Go alone. There comes upon me much I fear some ill unlucky thing.
As I did sleep under this yew tree here, I dreamt my master in another flock, and that my master slew.
Romeo? Alack, alack, what blood is this which stains the stony entrance of the sepulchre? Romeo! Oh, pale. Who else, what Paris too? Steeped in blood? What unkind hour is guilty of this lamentable chance? Lady stirs.
Oh, comfortable friar, where is my wife? I do remember well where I should be, and here I am. Where is my Romeo?
I hear a noise. Lady, come from that nest of death, and contagion and unnatural sleep. A greater power than we can contradict hath thwarted our intents. Come away. Thy wife in thy bosom there lies dead. Paris too. Stay not to question, for the watch is coming. Come, go, good Juliet. I need no longer stay.
Go, get thee hence, for I will not away. What's this? Cup close to my true love's hand. Poison I see at fit for timeless end. Go churl, drunk all, and left no happy drop to help me after. I will kiss thy lips, haply some poison yet to hang on them, to make die with a restorative. Oh, thy lips are warm.
Lead, boy, which way?
Yea, noise? And I'll be brief. Oh, happy dagger, this is thy sheath. There rust, and let me die.
What misadventure so early up that calls our person from his morning's rest?
Should it be that they so shriek abroad?
The people in the streets cried Romeo, some Juliet and Paris, and all run in open outcry to our monuments.
What fear is this which startles in our ears?
Sovereign, here lies the Count of Paris slain. And Romeo dead. Juliet dead before warmed and new killed.
Search, seek, and know how this foul murder comes.
Why, heavens, how our daughter bleeds. This dagger hath mistaken for lo. His sheath is empty on the side of Montague. Lies in our daughter's side.
Sight of death is as a bell that warns my old age to settle.
Come, Montague, for thou art early up, to see thy child and heir more early down.
Alas, my liege, my husband is dead tonight. The grief of Bertali's exhale has stopped his breath, but further misery conspires against my age.
Look, and thou shalt see.
Thou, God, what manner is of this to press before thy father to your grave?
Seal up the mouth of outrage for a while, till we can clear these ambiguities, and know their spring, their head, their true descent. And then will I be general of your woes and lead you even to death. Meantime, forbear, and let mischance be slave to patience. Bring forth the parties of suspicion.
I am the greatest, able to do least, yet most suspected is the time and place to think against me of this direful murder. And So here I stand, both to impeach and purge, myself condemned and myself excused.
Then say it once without just knowing this.
Romeo, they're dead, his wife to that Juliet, and she, they're dead, that Romeo's faithful wife. I married them. You betrothed and would have married her before us to Count of Paris. Then comes she to me, and with wild looks bid me devise some mean to rid her from the second marriage, and there in my cell would she kill herself. And gave I her, so tutored by my arts, a sleeping potion. It wrought on her the form of death. In the meantime, I wrote to Romeo that hither should she come, but he which bore my letters yesterday returned my letters back. And all alone came I to take her from her kindred's vault, but when I arrived, some minute ere the time of her awaking, there untimely lay the noble Paris and true Romeo dead. She wakes, and I entreated her come forth. Then a noise did scare me from the tomb, and she too desperate would not come with me, but, as it seems, did violence on herself. All this I know, and aught this be miscarried by my fault. Let my old life be sacrificed some hour before its time into the rigor of severest law.
We still have known thee for a holy man. Where's Romeo's man? What can he say in this?
I brought my lady news of Juliet's death, and in post she came from Benvolio to this same place, to this same monument. This letter she really bid me give her father's.
Give me the letter. This letter does make good the friar's words. Their course of love. Here she writes that she came to the vault to die and lie with Juliet. Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague, see what a scourge is laid upon your hate, that heaven finds means to kill your joys with love. And die. For winking at your discords to have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished.
Now, Brother Montague, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointure, for no more can I demand.
A gloomy peace this morning with it brings. The sun, for sorrow, will not show his head. Go forth to have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned, and some punished. For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet